How's it going, friends? Reckless Yugi here. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. And in this video, we're going to do a benchmark of 3 GTX 980s versus 2 GTX 980 Ti's in the search of being able to play 4K games at 60 frames per second on ultra settings except for anti-aliasing. And my initial goal with this video is just to see for myself as far as the improvement of 2 GTX 980 Ti's versus 3 GTX 980s. And when I first built the system that you see behind me, I was in search of being able to play games at 4K at 60 frames per second, as well as record those games in order to upload them at the highest quality on my YouTube channel. And at the time of me building my PC, like the 980s were the flagship card at the time that were able to record 4K with the use of shadow play. And when that came out, I figured those would be the good cards to get. So I got 2 of them. That didn't really work out so well. So I ended up getting a 3rd one just to give it a little bit more oomph. And then it still kind of struggled a good amount at 4K. I had to tone down some settings in order to play. And I think the limiting factor was the 4 gigabytes of VRAM. Now that the 980 Ti's were out, I kind of hesitated as if I wanted to get those or not. But I'm really happy that I did get the 980 Ti's because the 980 Ti's are just beasts when it comes to 4K, as you see in the benchmark here in a little bit. And the games that I used to benchmark was Crysis 3. I used the Heaven Test Bench, which is only limited to 1440p, but it's able to push the cards decently enough. And then I also used, I used Grand Theft Auto 5, and I used Ultra Street Fighter 4, which isn't a game that's usually like benchmark, but it's one of the few games I had that does have a benchmark built in, so I decided to use that anyway. And then I used Shadows of Mordor. So hopefully you guys enjoy that lineup of games used to benchmark. And also be aware that the game footage used in this video was limited to 60 frames per second because I just had G-Sync enabled when I recorded this game footage for this specific portion. But when I did all the benchmarks, G-Sync was disabled so that it wasn't limited at all when it came to frames per second. So just keep that in mind and don't be alarmed when you see that in the following footage. So hopefully you guys enjoy and enjoy.
I got your back, Prophet.
Treat you.
Attack!
So those are the numbers I got, and just be aware the method I used for Crysis 3 was the Linus Tech Tip method, where they have this certain run that they always go through just to kind of visually see how much the frames drop and how much the frames were maxed out, and then guessed how much the average frames per second was. So that's basically what I did for this video. And then also take note that regardless of the numbers of Grand Theft Auto 5, even though the 3 GTX 980s look like they'd be able to handle Grand Theft Auto 5 just perfectly fine, whenever I played the game and was just kind of cruising around the city, I always noticed that there will always be like lag points. Like whenever I'm in the city with everything maxed out, the game would just lag kind of a good amount where it was very noticeable. It made it not very enjoyable to play. But once I hit the 980 Ti's in there, I was able to drive through the city with everything maxed out except for anti-aliasing, and I had no issues with the game whatsoever. It just like ran at 60 frames per second constantly with the G-Sync enabled. Sometimes it'll drop down below, like down to 59 frames per second. But that is just, you know, it's fantastic to play games like that at 4K, especially with these two cards with their 6 gigabytes of VRAM. So I think that's definitely a must for anyone out there looking at gaming at 4K at 60 frames per second. So anyways, that's it for the video. That's all I can really say or do. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and thank you very much for watching. And I do apologize to you guys who were waiting for this for the delay. It's finally out. Here it is. You watched it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys again in the next video. All right, bye bye.